his, and then you both create.
No. No. Not the case. Not the case. Oh, of course you get up and walk away.
Sorry, I'm just getting my nail clippers. Nail trimmers. Nail clippers.
Nail thingies.
Yeah. My nail knife set to trim and painting.
Copy.
I have like a wireless electric nail file thing, but I don't want to sit here and do that all day. You need anything?
I don't have my glasses on. I couldn't see to do shit.
I'm not even sure what some of these are for.
Let me see.
And this one. What are you gonna do with that? What is the edge of this? No, not that one. This, the scissors. What are you gonna do with
That's
that?
so you don't poke.
What's that gonna cut?
That's so you don't poke.
What about and these ones? These are the sharp ones.
Mm-hmm.
This is what, to get gunk out of your nails? This
That's to push your cuticles back. That's to get under the edges.
one? This is for your ear.
Oh my
This is a
god.
file. Yeah, that's the scoopy for the ear. What? And this is also.
Same thing.
And this. And this.
These are
This.
pimples. Face pimples. Look, they got the little holes on the end. This is cuticles.
Yeah, but what are the other ends of those that you say are for pimples, huh?
Oh, these are for pimples. These are for pimples.
This one's for pimples. What about the edge though? What is that?
Is it sharp?
I don't know. I haven't used them.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What? I don't know what they do.
What's
Why
up,
would I use
Thomas?
them?
How's it going?
You want me to use something I don't know about? That's how people die.
Use something you don't know about. That's how people die. Don't you? You were just watching Unknown Cave of Bones. Like, don't you think the cavemen fucking created shit that they didn't know what the fuck it was for? Or we look at and we're like, what is that for? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why don't you
But
read the
try it.
description? I bet it'll tell you.
Shut up.
Shut up. Don't be logical, Mom. What's going on? Having a argument over here with
Yeah,
my
no, it
son.
didn't say.
He doesn't say.
It doesn't. Give me a fucking attitude.
Whatever. This kid, you guys.
Okay, hold on.
Oh my god, look, there's a
Yeah,
description.
but it doesn't point to, so you don't know what is, it just
Let me
tells
see.
you.
Let me see.
Okay? It doesn't point to them, it just has the names. Yeah, good luck reading that.
So, shut up.
You need your readers?
Nail clippers,
Oh, yeah.
large nail clippers,
Uh-huh.
cuticle nippers,
Mhm.
nail file, dead skin fork trim.
The
That's
fuck is that one?
That.
Oh, dead skin fork trim.
mhm. Tweezers to pluck the eyebrows and ingrown hairs. 2 scissors.
Mhm.
Oh, yep, to trim your eyebrows. Nail cleaning knife.
Knife.
Mhm. Obtuse type brooch. Trim nail keratin and remove scrape nail polish. Ah ha ha. An ear cleaner. An acne tool.
Yep.
Flat cuticle remover. For your feet.
You're telling me this thing, which I guess is kind
Zigzag
of sharp is for
cuticle
something.
remover.
Hmm.
I don't wanna.
I know you were going to end up cutting yourself. Huh?
I could see that. I could see that. I could see that.
No,
No, this is that's my son. That's my oldest son. That's not Schmegley. What's up, Ida? Mm-hmm. So this is this is our conversation live. Although y'all missed the deep, insightful conversation that we had earlier today, in regards to potential podcast. So, yeah, I think he is a millennial. So if you go, and look at the timelines, he barely makes being a millennial
By a year.
by a year.
I think millennial cutoff is 1996.
Yeah. So, no, I don't have the weekend off. The truck is in the shop still. When I got back from the truck show, I still have a minor vibration. I feel it in the steering wheel, but I also feel it in the pedal. And it vibrates, obviously, up into my arm.
Doesn't that still classify as having the weekend off because you're not working, so you're off of work and
Well,
it's the
true.
weekend?
True. But the vibration, kills my fucking arm.
Why don't you get like a 10 unit to like counteract the vibrations by shocking your muscles in a different way?
Well, it's not in alignment
Not that it's
because
a
when I
safety
let go
issue.
of the steering wheel, because it does bother my arm enough that I'm like, fuck, and I let go and I'm like, but it does. It goes straight down the road, so it's not in alignment.
Shouldn't go straight down the road. Aren't semis supposed to pull to the right more? Just like our
No.
You know, for safety reasons, in case y'all fall asleep at the wheel. Why do you think we still have nails?
What? Why do we still have nails?
Right, because they have to be, what, a bit thicker, a bit sharper, a bit more sturdier. Way back when.
What?
So, what do we need?
This
We
kid.
don't need them for anything now. What in life do you need nails for? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good reason to have nails.
Yeah, but not evolutionary wise.
I'm just saying.
You think humans kept
Scratching?
nails because they like to get
Scratching and digging, yeah.
Digging you can do with your fingers. You don't need your nails. Scratching, yeah, I can understand that, but what? It's just evolved to this point where it doesn't do much. Nails are quite thin. And brittle.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's where we're at. These are our conversations, James. Will you read this, please?
Out loud?
No, not out loud. What's going on? Oh, you're asking me about my truck. I have a 2003 379. I'm thinking that it might be a drum because there's minor. Did you read what I wrote?
I don't know.
There's minor vibration in the steering wheel. Very, very minor. So when you hold the steering wheel, you don't feel it. But if you loosen up your grip and you barely touch it, you can feel it. Plus, I can feel it in my foot. When I have my foot on the accelerator, I feel it vibrating into my foot, across the top of my foot, and up into my ankle. So, everybody keeps saying kingpins, but he would know when he checked my truck if it was kingpins. Wouldn't he? If he, what? Am I wrong?
No.
Is he wrong?
Not issues.
That's what I'm saying, yo. So, I don't know. As of right now, I don't actually know what the,
God, you're like the Goldilocks of the fucking semi-trucking world.
It's just right.
This vibrates too much. And it's still vibrating. And it's not doing it. You can put some pink lights on it.
Yes, that's my son. That's my oldest son.
What you're talking about? I was paid to be here. She didn't even have the space for this. I had to let her use my own place to do this.
Excuse me, I live here too. I pay rent.
Prove it. Prove you live here.
My mail comes here.
Oh, and? You can have mail sent to any goddamn address in the world. You just gotta put it on.
We did Kingpins a couple years ago, and it only became a problem like recently. A year ago? 2 years? Fuck, I don't remember. It's been at least a year. Has smashed Shem. I could have him check that.
Now, the
We
last
thought
time
maybe the drive shaft wasn't balanced,
I was
but
in a semi
that's
truck. That wasn't
Whoa.
yours. It
You
was a
know.
long time ago. So does everyone else's truck vibrate?
My truck only recently started the vibration thing, and I had a outer round tire, so we replaced that, and it got a lot better. It's not visibly shaking now, but I can still feel it a little bit. So, now I'm in a place of, what the fuck do we do? Support bearing.
Truck.
Get a new truck. Yeah, let me just go buy a new truck.
Hey,
Just go buy a new...
Yeah. I mean,
Old.
you'll be in more
A
debt, but
a new
you-
old truck
Exactly.
with an old motor.
Sure.
Although I do need to do the overhead on my truck. Maybe that's it. Maybe we need to do the overhead. I don't know.
What if it's in your head?
It's not in my head. I feel it in my body.
Oh, right. You feel it in your bones? You know. You just know.
Notorious for kingpin issues because front frame mounts. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Well,
Fucking trucking.
exactly. Exactly. Fucking trucking. A wheel? No, I already had the wheels balanced. They only took 3 ounces. Not getting a new truck. Not doing it. Not doing it. Well, I don't use it on boost mode. Thankfully. This guy said that Geek Bar spit. Every time he used it on boost mode, it would spit.
Never use it on boost mode, yeah. I only have it on its regular.
Yeah. So, what are you doing, pupper dogs? Pupper
No, no.
dogs.
I've never used the boost on any of the vapes. Like
No?
Silly Box, I never used the boost button on that either.
No?
Nope. Only if it would like get stuck or something, or if I felt like I wasn't, I'd just do it once, but that's about it.
Steers 12140. What do you mean?
Oh.
My moderators do block the trolls. I don't really care about bullies. I think they're funny. I think trolls are funny too, personally. When does it vibrate? All the time. Yeah. All the time. Plus, we have to get that little clip thingy, switch thingy fixed for the Jakes and the Cruise, because that fucking took a shit. Chad, I don't know because I don't have Cruise and Jake, so I had to drive with my foot on the throttle all the time. So, I obviously feel it when my foot is on the pedal. Where am I from? I came from my mom. In spite of what my son thinks, I did not crawl out from under a rock. I came from my mom.
I don't think that you came out from under a rock.
Mm-hmm.
I think you came out of the pits of hell.
Thanks, bud. Thanks.
Actually, I think Nana made you in a cauldron.
In a cauldron. I was conjured in a cauldron. It's in the steering wheel. It's in the steering wheel. And in the pedal.
What if? Now hear me out.
Oh,
What if your truck's just a...
Sweetheart, you don't even have a driver's license for a car.
Yep. You know how much money that is? You know how much more money I have because I don't own a car? It's great.
He gives me a headache. He gives me a headache.
Good job.
So. Thomas, I don't know what you're talking about. I missed what you said. $12 more. What are you talking about, Nate? Kingpins. It's easy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to have him check kingpins, that's for sure. But in the meantime, we're making sure that we're doing plenty of self-care work to minimize the tension that we got going on over here. So steers 12, 140 drives, 54.5 on the trailer. I don't understand. Are you talking about weights? Jim and Sniffers! Raining Alabama? You out in Alabama? Lidocaine would just numb it. It's not going to fix the problem. So there's tension in the muscle. Oh, copy. Yes, I'm going to Old Town Rig now. I'm already registered. Dothan, I know where that is. I don't feel it in the steers, I feel it in the steering wheel. I look like the mother of your children. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. So, maybe we'll figure it out, maybe we won't. Maybe I'll get this shit worked out and it won't bother me. Fuck, I don't know. As far as the podcast, you say do it. Be like me. A few days left before your clutch goes completely out. We're checking the clutch and the flywheel too. So I want to do a podcast. problem with doing a podcast is when you have a podcast, you can't be like, talk about trucking one day and then talk about something non-trucking related the next day. You kind of have to stick to a specific realm.
Says who?
Scrap cars on a step deck. It's learning. I heard scrap cars is hard as fuck. Because shit flies off and it hits somebody else, you're liable. Universal podcast. Well, you know, my son and I have a lot of really insightful conversations. Earlier today, I don't even know how we got on the topic. He was talking about when him and his ex Leighton, when they
You're just gonna name her like that? Wow.
I didn't name her last name. She doesn't follow me anywhere, so it doesn't matter. I'm sure there's a lot of girls named Leighton.
Oh, I bet more boys named Leighton than
Well,
girls.
whatever. There's girls named Corey and there's boys named Corey. So what's the difference?
Fine.
Chucking life, health, food, etc. Just shoot from the hip. That's kind of sort of the process of what's the dilemma. We were talking about my truck and the vibration in my truck, but now we're talking about ideas for the podcast that I'm going to do. So we were talking earlier about when him and his girlfriend Leighton split up. Oh, I know what it was. He was talking about he's putting on some weight, and then he started talking about when he was with her and how he had gained. How much weight did you gain when you were with her?
60 pounds.
He gained 60 pounds when he was with his girlfriend. By the way, they were together for 6 years. And I asked him, I said, why do you think that is? You know, do you think it was complacency, comfort? And your answer was?
A lot of things. Complacency, depression.
Right.
Not giving a fuck about it. Living in a messy environment. There's quite a few things that I listed.
Oh, look how cute. This guy's so dumb. He thinks I have a fucking OnlyFans. Clearly, he's never watched my live before. Keep scrolling, bud. You'll never find one. But, you know, if you want to waste your day that way, go right ahead. So, anyways, he, complacency, he said that there were points when he would mention to her, like, he'd put on some weight, and she would be like, oh, it's fine. And my question to him was, so why did you let somebody else's opinion deter you from being happy with yourself?
That is not what you asked me.
Well,
That's
in a not
that is
so
a lie.
well, in a not so eloquently formed statement, that is what I asked you. So
You gave me the therapist question of, how does that make you feel?
I did not say how does that make you feel.
Basically.
Your calendar's at the house. You haven't looked at it yet. Shame, shame, shame. So I asked you, basically, when she said, oh, it's fine, why did you take what she said, even though that wasn't what made you feel well?
I didn't take what she said. It was just another contributing factor of me being like, it's fine then. And the reason why I said is because it is your partner, right? So obviously you care about what they think, especially when it comes to your body a bit. You still want them to be attracted to you. You still want to be attracted, find yourself attractive. And if your partner says, oh, it's fine, well, you kind of believe them, right? They're your partner. They should be honest with you about such things. And it's fine. And you're like, oh, it's fine. I guess is how I took it. And I was like, oh, but if she's, then I guess I'm fine. If she's worried, then maybe I don't need to.
Her, it's fine.
Yeah, it's
didn't
fine.
coincide with how you felt about yourself. So why did you, in essence, put her viewpoint ahead of your own happiness with yourself?
I don't know if that's how I put it.
Well, that's kind of sort of what happened. A lot of duct tape.
It's more that I noticed it and I pointed it out,
Mm-hmm.
and that was her response. And I said, okay, And I looked at myself and I was like, well, it's not that much weight. I can actually work this off pretty easy. And I just didn't.
And again, why?
I just didn't. I was depressed. It's rough 6 years. Just how it was. No reason. No grand design.
Okay, well, I'm asking you this because a lot of people do that. A lot of people end up in situations, if you're in a relationship or even with friendships, where you're not completely happy and you express something to somebody and they're like, no, it's fine. It's not a big deal. You're always late. It's fine. I just know you're always late. So, A, they enable you to be late,
Mm-hmm.
to not work out, to whatever. But at the same time, why are you letting their complacency keep you from doing what it is that you know you should do for yourself? Hold on one sec. Members only is for people who subscribe. There are 3 different levels of subscription for my YouTube. Go on.
No, I'm just thinking about how to word it.
Okay. Because a lot of people do this. And I think most people don't realize that that's exactly what they're doing. They're basically taking their wants, their desires, for a leaner body, a healthier body, and they're putting it on the back burner because their partner is saying, it's okay. It's okay for you to neglect yourself. Which, because to her, it probably wasn't a big deal. But my question to you is, why did you value her opinion more than your own?
It's because it's what the rest of the world is doing. You outsource your problems to something else. That's why your human's memory isn't as good as it used to be. It's because we outsource it to pictures and screenshots and everything. You don't have to remember that event anymore. You can look at the picture and then that picture can help you remember, but you don't actually remember until you see that picture. So you outsource it.
So you outsourced your happiness to somebody else.
I guess that's how I'm putting it, yeah.
But you were raised better to know that happiness comes from within.
But I also attempted to learn by example.
I wasn't the best example when you were little.
No.
100% not.
And hence my situation.
I was a dumpster fire when he was young. Shit.
I learned all the things not to do, so it made me a great boyfriend, but I just was terrible still at picking a partner.
Deanna
like I learned
says,
from you.
fear of the unknown, future relationships, and the work involved to find one. So you just go with the flow of the relationship. You've been there. A lot of people settle. That's why you're still single.
A lot of people settle.
Well, I get the fear of the unknown, but
the unknown's fun.
But the next question is this. So you're going to settle and
Definitely, I did.
not be fulfilled, fully happy, pleased, whatever. Because being miserable is more appealing than being your own person by yourself.
I wouldn't put it that way.
Well, when you're single, you learn who you are as a person.
Yeah, but I already knew who
Because
I was.
you knew who you were in the relationship of you and Leighton. You knew how to speak, how to react. You knew which things were going to piss her off. You knew which responses would just make her calm down and mellow out. And you knew which answers to give so you didn't have to fight. You knew what she liked to do, where she liked to go, what movies she liked to watch, etc., etc., etc. But who you are outside of that is separate.
Oh yeah, everyone's always separate.
Right. But you dismissed who you were separate from that in order to stay miserable. So wouldn't you rather just be who you are, watch the movies you want to watch, go the places you want to go, do the things you want to do, and get rid of the arguments, all of the other behaviors. You see what I'm saying? Wouldn't you rather be single
I'll
and
put it
at
this
peace than be miserable with all the chaos?
I'll put it this way. I like being alone. I enjoy being alone by myself. I know a lot of people can't handle being alone.
Deanna said when you're depressed, it's easier to go with the flow than lead. Which James was dealing with that. So yes, that was part of it. It was, the depression. It was easier just to go along with it. But my next question to that was, when did you decide that you were done taking the last bite of the shit sandwich that you were eating?
Oh, that was farther down the line, obviously. I think it's probably about the last year of the relationship, honestly. Well, okay. About 2 years into the relationship is when I was like, not exactly satisfied with this anymore.
Well, what exactly was it? Like a buildup of things that made you realize like you weren't satisfied?
Yeah, it was a buildup of things. It was. And I was like, I should probably just end this. And I was like,
but why didn't you?
But I was living with her and her mom and their roommate.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working at Comcast at the time.
I remember.
And while I could still commute to that job, even if me and her broke up and I lived there, that would have been awkward just to live there. And in order to move out, I didn't have the funds to at the current job that I was working at. I wouldn't be able to sustain myself. So I was like, well, I'll just stay here a bit longer until I can get myself a promotion or a better job, and then I'll end it. Well, that didn't happen that way.
I know, you got yourself a different job and you stayed.
Yes.
So.
But it was around when I got myself a different job is when I started making steps, I guess, towards a breakup of sorts. That's when the relationship started falling apart a lot more. And then it just fully fell apart. I was done when she was fucking lying and deceiving.
Well,
and I was tired of not ever being able to get fucking anything right.
Somebody says, find someone who can accept you. It's Alexander. Said, find someone who can accept you at your lowest and accept you for who you are. Don't settle for less than you have. Don't settle for less. And you have to learn to be alone before you can be with somebody. You're 1,000% correct.
Exactly. Like I was saying before, I like being alone. I enjoy being alone.
I do too.
Problem is, I don't fancy being alone.
We're humans. We're human beings. We are social creatures. So being with somebody is oftentimes...
Remember, she did isolate me from like everyone. So she was all that I had.
Huh? Yeah, I know. I know. And relationships that isolate are not healthy relationships.
Well, no, because then it forces you to become codependent.
Correct. Would you ever allow somebody to tell you that you weren't allowed to be friends with so-and-so or this or that or whatever?
Not now. Shit, even when I was dating her, I was like, that's some bullshit that you're telling me to do. Like, because you had taught me that. You're like, don't trust the crazy bitches that say you can't be friends with a female. Or another woman.
I think that men and women are perfectly capable of being friends.
Exactly. They fully are. One of my best friends is a woman.
If you're an honorable person and you have good morals, yes. But if you're a chick who randomly slips and falls on every dick that is presented to her, then, I mean, yeah, that's a whole different story.
Maybe you're just a little too friendly.
I mean, because women don't accidentally slip and fall on dicks, and men don't accidentally slip and fall with their dick in a woman. I mean, that's just the way it is. It doesn't just happen.
I've seen plenty of videos where that's the premise of what happens.
Right.
Just saying.
Right. So you don't fancy. Alexander says he doesn't or I'm assuming Alexander is a guy. I don't fancy being alone myself. I would want to be with someone, but I also enjoy my peace and not dealing with bullshit. You'll wait until you find the right person to settle down with. I agree completely.
What's it been, 3 years now since I broke up with Lane? I haven't dated anybody.
Taking after your mom.
I'm gonna turn 30 soon. I'm not gonna have a partner or a relationship. I'm not gonna have a house. I'm not gonna have a car. I am gonna have a decent job though. And society can fuck itself because I don't care what it thinks.
Are you happy?
I'm doing great.
That's not what I asked you. I said, are you happy?
I'm content.
Okay. Do you want to own a house?
That sounds like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
As in, like a large financial responsibility, and I'm absolutely terrified of being in debt, so I don't think I'm ever actually going to buy myself a house. Ever. Unless I obviously
Hell
get
yeah,
the
Thomas.
means to do so.
I don't have any desire to own, like, a house.
No.
House. Like,
No.
I want to own maybe a tiny house.
Honestly, I want to be a fucking nomad. I just want to, like, redo, like, a bit bigger van. I'll even maybe give a school bus or something, and I'll just, like, live in that shit. I'll just travel all around. That's what I would do. I could do that with my job, as long as I had an internet connection.
Right, because you work from home.
Uh-huh. I would love that. I would do that all the time. You guys would never see me again, though. I would be gone all the time, somewhere. Hey, you want me to come visit? You don't have
can't
to
even
drive.
drive.
I could drive, though. I can drive. I just can't legally drive. I am fully capable of driving. I know how to drive. I have driven. I've driven in the snow. I've driven in different cars. I just can't legally. I can legally drive with an adult that has a license, actually. I still have my permit.
You're 28 years old and you have a fucking driving permit.
Damn right.
Oh, I'm so proud, you guys.
Hey. I did not end up as a drug head. I did not get someone pregnant as a teenager.
Thank God.
What else do you want from me, okay? I'm not falling into societal pressures. Oh, you're all upset because I don't drive a car. Can never make you proud.
Yeah, be happy in yourself and the rest will follow. I agree completely. Like, I'm happy with who I am. And I'm happy with where I am in my life. I'm happy with what I'm doing. My income, my job, my social life. And when I date somebody, I'm happy before I date them. And I'm happy while I date them. And if something happens, I'm still happy. Because my happiness isn't dependent upon somebody else. My happiness is not dependent upon this person that I'm going to date saying and doing the right things or whatever. Like,
now, for sure.
well, yeah, now for
Matured in
sure.
that.
Like, it's been this way for,
At least the past 4 or 5 years.
oh, more than that. More than that, that was
I can
before.
only go off of the last relationship where I was around a lot, which was with Dwayne. And
Oh my God, babe,
God,
that's been
you've
like
grown
10 years.
So much from
You know,
there.
it's been like almost 10 years.
No, we haven't been here. You haven't been dating him that long, have you?
Sweetheart, we broke up in
Oh.
like 2014.
Yeah, you did date him like
It is
shortly after we got
2024.
our own place, huh?
It is
Yeah.
2024. Yeah.
I have no concept of time. I have
Yeah.
ADHD.
So it's been 10 years that I realized that can't love nobody if they don't love themselves. You're 100% correct. It's a situation where, you know, oh, your ex cheated on you. Well, don't punish me for what your ex did to you because I didn't do it to you.
I'll go to therapy so you can get better.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's send your ex to therapy so you can get over the fact that your ex cheated. Like, no, that doesn't make any sense. They cheated on you. Don't punish me for what they did. I accept you for who you are in spite of all the traumas I've had. I accept you. If you cannot accept me for the person that I present myself to be to you, then you need to do some personal work, not me.
Wow, to a degree. Hands on.
I'm always doing personal work, but I mean, like, to overcome the trauma of what happened to you, you need to do the work. You need to come to terms with it. You need to Either accept that it was your fault or it wasn't your fault. If it was your fault, you need to look at what you did wrong and how you can change that to not repeat that pattern. If it's not your fault, then you need to be able to say, you know what, that's not my fault. That is that person's character, not mine. And until you do that, I'm not dealing with it. So if you have insecurities, that's not my problem. Not my problem at all.
But at what point does it become your problem, right? Because when you get in a relationship with someone, you become their partner, and you're supposed to help them grow and everything like that. So obviously, you're never gonna find somebody who is the absolute pinnacle.
Everybody's fucking broken. Everybody's broken.
Yeah, so
Everybody
someone's
has
always
trauma.
gonna have like insecurities. And stuff.
Correct. But if they're not willing to work on their insecurities, if they're not willing to look at themselves and say, I'm the one that's creating this problem.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's totally fine, but you're saying that you're not going to deal with them. So
No. I'm not going to deal with your insecurities. You need to work on it.
So you're not going to help your own partner out with their insecurities?
I'm not going to deal with you projecting your insecurities on me.
Now that's different.
So, yeah. 10s are pretty to look at, but are mostly toxic. You can be happy with a 6 or a 7 and love
with a
life.
solid 7. A solid 7 always will rule over any 10.
Is that because nobody looks at your 7?
What? No. It's not because of that.
Oh.
It's because 10s get put up on a pedestal. And guess what? You see that pedestal, you hear about the pedestal from everyone, and then you meet that 10, and guess what? They are not anywhere near the pedestal that they've been placed on. It's like a painting. It's pretty to look at and to contemplate, and that's about as far as it goes. I ain't gonna spend money on that.
It's
it can
exactly
stay in the
why.
museum.
It's exactly why. when I'm single and I meet a guy and he's always like, "Oh, you're so pretty, you're so hot, you're so..." Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it. I'm so tired of hearing it. Talk to me as a person. Don't talk to me as a painting or something that you would put on a pedestal. Because if you're putting it on a pedestal, it's an object. I'm not an object. I'm a human being.
So,
treat me as such.
Future boyfriend should never compliment your appearance.
I did not say that.
Actually, no. They cannot call you pretty or hot.
No, that's not what I said. When I am single and I could pull up my fucking spam boxes on any social media account right now.
Oh, no,
and there's
I
about 10
understand that.
messages in there. And every single one of them tells me that I'm sexy, that I'm hot, that I'm beautiful, I'm this, I'm that. Like, talk to me as a person. I'm not saying don't compliment me, but I'm saying get to know me as a person before you start throwing out compliments. Compliments are superficial if you don't know the person.
Don't shower me with adjectives.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. If they're not willing to grow or change, they will stay stagnant. You're 100% correct. And the relationship will possibly go nowhere. You need to find someone who you can grow with and you can have this. Yes, 1,000%. 1,000%. That is absolutely correct.
I feel like that's something that's so hard to navigate personally.
What is hard to navigate personally?
If a relationship doesn't have any growth or anything, it gets stagnant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, within a relationship, it's not. This is what I struggle with. Like I said, personally, it's not like every day there's growth going on or something like that, right? And not that you can exactly see growth. It's something that happens over time that you can look back on and
it doesn't.
see.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you didn't get fat from eating one little Debbie.
Exactly.
So, right.
I have no concept of time, okay? And I have ADHD, so it's out of sight, out of mind for everything. Emotions, people, objects, everything. So if it's not there and present, I'm not thinking about it. So it's a lot for me that I have to focus on in order to even objectively see if it's happened to begin with. Like when I was with Leighton, I was like, we have grown. But I'm like, at what what point over the 6 years was there growth?
Did
and
you
was
grow
there
together or did you
stagnation?
grow apart though?
I definitely we grew apart, but like that's way obvious.
Correct.
But
But that's the problem with growth is you don't see it incrementally as it's happening. It's like, oh, we're a couple and we're growing. And the next thing you know, like you're over here and they're over here and you've grown apart instead of together. Lime Jelly says ADHD people making excuses for shitty behavior again.
you're just mad that you don't have the excuse like I do.
Well, no, Lime Jelly just doesn't understand ADHD is not attention deficit disorder. It's attention hyper focus.
Well, it's
Because
It's
ADHD
different.
people are fucking amazing at things that they're passionate about, and they're really shitty at things they don't give a shit about. So it's really not so much that they can't focus, it's that they hyper focus on the things that they like, the things that they enjoy, and the things that they're passionate about the most. Everything else just goes by the wayside. So if you love math, you're going to be great at math and you're going to be shitty at English. Like, that's just how it
has
is.
nothing to do with what people like. It has everything to do with what stimulates your brain.
Well, exactly.
So you could not like it, but you could still hyper focus on it because it's giving you the stimulation.
Yeah, typically people like the things that give them stimulation.
Yeah, well, I'm not a typical person,
Well,
obviously.
we
I
know
have
that.
issues.
We know that. We know that.
No, it's really interesting though. The more that I like self-study on ADHD, which granted is obviously taken with a grain of salt because it's what I can find and have access to.
Well, and there's a million different things, but it's not necessarily the exact form of ADHD that you have.
Well, that too. It's a spectrum.
Correct.
So there's just all these variations and probabilities, and it's just a lot to deal with and take into consideration. There's a lot of self-thinking that has to happen, and then you have to analyze your own behaviors through
Yeah,
the
but most
past.
people don't want to look at themselves and analyze themselves because, well, that's admitting that they have faults. And like Lime Jelly here can't admit that they have faults, and they can't keep their fingers off the keyboard and not talk about things they don't know anything about. But it's
Faults
okay.
are great, okay? Faults
If you didn't
are
have
like
faults, you wouldn't have anything better.
faults
You
are
wouldn't
like
have a way to grow.
cracks in a bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can fix those cracks with your own self-reflection and your own work. And by the time that you're done, you're still going to have a bowl that has cracks, but the cracks are going to be filled in with
That's
gold,
art.
and it's going to make it look even better
Mm-hmm.
and more enjoyable. It's going to be a better product that can last and endure.
Mm-hmm. 2 of your kids are ADHD. They're great at math.
I hate it. I hate it.
Oh,
I
what's
was-
up? How's it going? Well, no, because math wasn't your thing. Some people are just haters and trolls. I know they're ass clowns. It's fine because you know what? If it wasn't for those people, we wouldn't have anything to laugh and joke about. Not much. You're just really tired. So yeah, my son and I are contemplating. What would you call it? But anyways, this is kind of sort of the stuff that I wanted to address on like my podcast. You know what I mean? Different people, their thought processes, and you know, ADHD, and you can say a lot of it can be concentrated through extreme discipline. Yes,
Oh,
that is
yeah.
what my son tells me all the time. Although it never really feels like habit, even after a year of daily repetition, it's still a conscious choice. True. You're planting and watching. What are you planting? Are you planting corn? Is it corn season? Soybean season? Corn season?
don't understand how people can't look back on their own shit.
They can. They just don't want to look back on their own shit, because when they look back on their own shit, they say things like, well, if I wouldn't have taken that job out of town, she wouldn't have cheated on me.
Woulda, shoulda, coulda. Oh well. You can't correct the past. There's
Correct, you
literally no
can't.
way. So why are you going to be upset about it?
Because it's easier to just blame yourself for all the bad shit that happens than it is to say, well, I agree, I probably shouldn't have taken that job, and she may not have cheated on me. Or you could say, whether I took the job or didn't, she was clearly a cheater. She would have found another reason to cheat, whether he took the job or not. Right?
Mm.
Am I wrong?
No, I'm with you.
So, it's a lot easier to blame yourself than it is. Most people are so self-loathing they don't even realize it.
I don't know. I feel like I'm constantly, like, it just pops up in my mind randomly of, like, stuff that happened in the past, and then I'll just sit and I'll think about it, and then I'm like, oh, okay.
Well,
I don't know. I just feel like misery loves company, though, huh? So
right, and what's on TV? Drama and chaos and misery. So that has become the social norm, because that's all you see is reality TV these days. And with that being the social norm, when people don't have that in their lives, they tend to create it. No?
Maybe. Probably for some people.
For some people or for most people?
I don't know. I can say probably at least most definitely from an American point of view, yes.
Do you think that it's different across the pond?
It's quite possible. I mean, the only times when I've been across the pond, I mean, I haven't stayed in those places for longer than like a week, so I can't really say.
Alexander says they have ADHD, or they have ADD, even at 31, and they suck at school because it didn't grab their attention. He says, I'm intelligent, but not book smart. Our brains are just wired different. That's 100% true. What's up, Smokestack?
The only way I made it through school was the ADHD way of sheer brute force. I could not be paying attention, and they asked me a question, and I had to look at the board and come up with an answer in 5 seconds, and then that's how I would do things. That's how I did
So you just bullshitted your way through.
Yes.
What's up, Edwin?
A lot. We have to get really good at pretending to be like everybody else.
Right, so like your brother Tyler is the same way. You know, he talks a lot about, he analyzes situations like, all right, what would be the appropriate reaction or the appropriate response to this? Oh, look, somebody from Poland is here. You could ask them.
There's a lot of planning that happens just for everyday interactions.
Okay.
Like even going to school. I mean, granted, when you get into school, you end up developing your mask that you have for school, so it becomes a lot easier. But if you don't have a mask, then it's just kind of dreadful.
So you're saying from childhood you're trained, reared to wear a different mask for different situations.
Most definitely.
So then how is anybody ever supposed to know who they truly are?
Well, whose fault is it for making them enforced to have a mask? The parents in society.
Don't say that, it's not nice. Don't do this, it's not polite.
It's not that. It's just all the things that come with being an ADHD child or an ADD child. Oh, you're not focusing. God, all you're doing all the time is just looking at you can't pay attention worth your shit. And it's stuff like that. You're like, well, fine. You just do nothing. You are nothing. You be what they want you to be, and then it's fine. And then when you're alone, you can let your ADHD out. You can do your 5,000 hobbies. You can pace around the fucking house. You can do all the things that are distracting or considered annoying. Because you can't be yourself, because that's a problem. Every time you being yourself, you got told that that's not okay. And it's not something that you can control with someone with ADHD. Everything's very impulsive with them.
Well, yes, but the control of your ADHD doesn't come until you're older.
Exactly. And before then, what are you gonna do to supplement it? Oh, we'll just put you on some meds so we don't gotta worry about that anymore. Well, here, take this and go over there. Oh, look, it's like night and day difference. You're a completely different person. Oh, gee, I wonder why. Maybe because I'm fucking on medical grade meth right now.
I was just gonna say.
And I'm able to fucking zoom in on the fucking balls of a fly right now and count all the hairs.
Well, that's how you manage your ADHD. That's societal standard for managing ADHD. Let me give you some pharmaceutical grade methamphetamine. You know.
Your child won't eat for a while, so we're gonna watch their weight every 3 months when they come in because of this medication. And because of their weight, we're also gonna change up their medication all the time. And then once they get on a consistent amount, they're gonna be hitting around puberty around that time. So guess what? They're gonna be gaining weight. So then we gotta up the dose again, which is going to already hinder puberty, which is already a fucking mess in your brain as it is. And we're gonna mess with those brain chemicals a bit more, and it'll be fine. You'll be okay. It's alright. Oh, your grades are slipping? We'll just give you some more meth. You just aren't focusing hard enough, is what the problem is.
Edwin, there are tons of truck and unicorn imposters, especially on TikTok.
It's actually kind of funny how that took off. Like, it was only like 1 or 2, and then it just like skyrocketed with all the imposters.
Oh, I know. There's like over 20 of them now. I literally get anywhere from 2 to 10 messages on TikTok a day. Did you start a new account?
And I think it's always hilarious that everyone like tries to start a porn page or something.
He should do medical commercials.
Is your kid hyperactive? Is he running around the house when you're trying to watch the football game and you're drinking your beer trying to unwind from the day? Is he being just a bit too obnoxious? Did you get calls from the school telling you about how he's disrupting class? Well, I got the thing for you. We're going to give him this thing. It's called Adderall. Adderall, right? It's going to add some... I don't know. I lost it all. I lost my thoughts. See, there's the ADHD.
Yeah. Ooh, shiny.
Fucking...
Squirrel.
Here, take the meds, and they can just live in a closet. Look, they take up so much less space now on this med. You don't gotta worry about them. You don't gotta feed them. They go to school when they're supposed to. They come back. You don't talk to them. It's been great. It's like being single again without the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Now, you as a parent, your life is easier as a parent because you wanted to medicate your kids. So your life would be easier. Not for your kid's sake, so that your kid can have a better life, but so that your life was easier because he was now managed.
Why do you think I had kids to do shit for me?
No, you never chose to have children, Mom. Don't try to tell me.
Magically appeared. I don't even know how that happened, but you guys just fucking appeared.
Consequences of your actions.
Consequences of your actions. Yeah, no, James doesn't...
Consequences of my actions out of my way.
James does not take any meds for his ADHD.
No, I was on Adderall for a long time, and then before Adderall, I was on something else for a little bit, and then before that, I was on Ritalin. That was great. That was wonderful. I don't even remember any of that.
It's a great drug, Ritalin.
My mom says though it made me jack off chronically though.
Yeah, you were like 4, sitting on a couch playing with your wiener.
Hey, okay, self-stimulation.
Well, you weren't 4. You were like 6. Sorry.
Is a sign of autism, and that should have been your first sign that I was jacking off at 4.
You were 6.
Okay, 6.
Okay, well, 22 years ago, they did not talk about mental health issues as they do today.
That's true. It was scandalous to go to therapy. Did you hear Melissa from down the road? She's going to therapy. What is her husband gonna think? Whoa.
Right. Well,
y'all lived in a weird time. I'm just saying.
Yeah, 22 years ago, mental health was not openly discussed.
No, but that's why all the house moms now are on Percocets and Vicodin and everything because they don't go to fucking therapy, so they guzzle wine with their pills and they're good housewives now.
Well, they used to take their kids Adderall.
Well, that too.
So that they could clean the house and keep up with the
Oh,
Joneses.
your husband hurt his shoulder? Yeah, you're just gonna sneak those pain meds every now and then.
Well, that's because they're not satisfied in their relationship or with themselves, technically. So, of course, they're not satisfied in their relationship. Anybody who's not happy with themselves, in turn, is going to project their unhappiness into other aspects of their life.
But
And
I
blame
also
other
think that we
people.
can just generally agree that relationships in the 1970s, the stereotypical relationships in the 1970s, were just not really healthy to begin with.
Why do you say that?
Well, there was all the abuse from the husbands, right?
What is the abuse?
There's the physical abuse, that's for sure, which is still going on to this day, but not as prevalent as it used to be. Gee, I wonder why. What would have changed? There's
Where are you getting these facts?
facts on here. We can pull it up if you want. Should we pull up the percentage of spouses that were abused from the 70s to now?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Let's make sure it's not from a liberal site
I have no idea.
or from your fucking millennial gen site.
What do you think websites look like these days? Do you think they have like certificates on them that's all like millennial approved or backed by liberal funding? Is that what you think?
Yes.
It's like an FDA seal? FDA
Go back
seal?
to the 40s and 50s.
Oh, 40s and 50s. That's probably different too.
Well, the men were different back then.
Everyone was different. Before
Men
the
were men and
2000s.
women were wives. Just saying.
19.
Boys were boys and girls were girls.
Oh my gosh. I'm already just reading like one thing that was saying that abusing wives because there was no good way of reporting it or to get help. There's like one thing that I just saw that happened a lot, apparently in the 1950s.
Well, if you were a good house bitch, you didn't get abused.
I think even ones that were good got abused, Mom.
I don't get it. Men were men and sheep were scared. Classic. Oh, shit. Classic.
I just need to find a proper fucking website to get all this data from. History of domestic abuse violence, yes. Has anything changed? That's the name of the psychological article. This is done by psychologists. Yeah, I know. You're gonna talk a lot, but I need to get to the actual facts here, not your stories and opinions. Or anything about the Roman Empire. Why are we trying to link? Oh, that's bold. What's reproductive abuse?
Reproductive abuse?
Mm-hmm.
Would that be like impregnating your wife every time she was not pregnant?
I don't know how to ask.
I don't know.
I'm just asking. List that as one of the abuses that happened. I don't know where to get this data from. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
According to report, United States Justice. Okay, this is from 2000s at least. A survey of 16,000 Americans, a small pool, but and that survey showed that 22.1% of women and 7.4% of men reported being physically assaulted by their current or former spouse, cohabitating partner, boyfriend, or girlfriend. Yeah, date of a lifetime. And that was in 2000, so I'm gonna see if I can go farther back.
Boy, he sure is slow in his Google foo there.
Hey,
For being a millennial and an interneter,
you want to
he's
pull
awfully
up
slow.
accurate percentages about this stuff? Be my guest. I want to see you do it. See, this is the problem. I can't get percentage of background. It's just people talking about what the 1960s were like instead, or like what they viewed in the 1960s for abuse. There's no percentages. It's just people's opinions. So I cannot accurately do this. However, I would like to just make the general assumption that from back then to now, there is drastically less domestic abuse. And by drastic in percentages, I mean by at least 10 or 20% from. Yeah.
So 20% of women in the 40s and 50s said
22% said in 2000. Okay. In the early 2000s, that was out of 16,000 Americans, 22% of them. So that's, again, a small chunk of American population. But 22% of the 16,000 said that they were abused physically. Now, granted, that's a good chunk out of 16,000 for that to be, if you exchange.
You've been abused.
Oh, I know.
Sweet Jesus, he's been abused.
You stabbed me with a fork. I know I've been abused.
Don't smart off at the dinner table when you're sitting next to your mom.
Well, how about have some control and talk to me instead of beating me?
How about
not that it worked either, because I still mouthed off.
There you go. There you go.
Even after you stabbed me, so. But that's my assumption.
That is your assumption.
Yes, my assumption.
This kid's assumption. Drag link or tie rod ends. Copy. Copy. So.
There's that.
I
said there's that.
There's that. Yeah. So, in his internet research, he did not find any actual data.
Real data, aside from what happened in 2000.
Correct. So,
I do see that people talk about the 1950s and 60s. It was much more prevalent because it was very easy to get away with it back then.
So, until you have absolute factual data,
no,
it is solely a speculation.
Exactly. That's why I said it was my assumption.
Yes.
That's what I always stated. I never said it was fact.
This kid, man.
Actually, I wonder if there's like recent results that show men are being abused more recently.
I think men probably are actually speaking out about being abused more prevalently than they used to. I mean, but then again, the world is full of bitch boys, but, you know, that is what it is. 1 in every 30 families in the 40s till the 90s said that they felt some source of abuse.
See,
Now
there we
5
go.
in 20 say it. Ha! It's worse now.
5 and 20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but what classifies as abuse? Because you know how.
Felt
Yes.
some source of abuse. It could be mental, it could be emotional, it could be physical, it could be sexual, it could be all of them.
But so they reported it. Okay, so it's their own opinion of what they believe abuse, that they believe they're being abused. That's their opinion.
Don't tell anybody where I touched you. That used to be a joke when we were kids because
But
they
yeah,
started
exactly.
having those commercials on TV about inappropriate touch. And I remember when I was fucking elementary school, we used to go around joking about that. Oh, don't tell anybody where I touched you. But because we weren't actually affected by it, so we didn't really take it as if it was like a serious thing.
Yeah, as I was saying though, like
Physical
people claim to be abused, but they're
and
not
mental.
abused though. Like kids do it a lot.
Physical and mental back then. Now all of the above.
That's true. There's fucking every way you can be abused. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
We evolved in our ways to abuse people.
yes. So we have evolved in our abuse.
I'm not just gonna hit you anymore. I'm gonna dangle financial stress over you instead. Too.
There's financial abuse.
Mm-hmm. I'm aware. Apparently, there's reproductive abuse.
I'm so glad I can't have kids anymore.
That's just wild to me.
What, that I can't have kids?
No.
Oh.
Reproductive abuse. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
you know, to each their own, I suppose. See you later, Ida. So, we're gonna name the podcast Unicorn Untamed. Or, yeah, the Unicorn Untamed. Oh my God, look at this dog. The fuck is wrong with my dog?
Oh, now it's normal.
He's a freaking weirdo. Anyways, so yeah, the Unicorn Untamed, and I'll have different people on, such as yours truly here, the Heimekins.
I don't recall agreeing to this. Where's my contract? Huh? How much am I getting for this? What are my rights to this? Do I get... Do I get any royalties if you make it big in
No.
the new episode that I was in?
Do you want to know the royalties you get if I make it big?
Yeah, what's that?
You get to tell people I'm your mom.
So still cringeworthy. Got it.
Yeah? 100%, which means you'll still stay the fuck off the internet, which is just fine with me.
Alright, I'll deal with it. Literally
So-
every time that I tell people now that you're TikTok famous. and
I'm not
everything.
TikTok famous. I'm just a person who has social media.
Exactly. You're TikTok famous.
Whatever. No, I'm not.
They always get like, no way, and they like look you, and then they also follow you, and then they
Oh my
talk
God.
to me about your, and I'm like,
What?
oh yeah, I saw your mom's video,
Mm-hmm. Hey, James. This guy, James, said that you are feminine.
Dope.
Where's his dad?
Oh fuck, I don't know, man. Last I heard, he's somewhere in Tucson, bald, and with a teenage kid. Don't know if it's his kid, but there was a teenage kid with him. That's the last I heard.
From your other siblings that
Uh-huh.
he had?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, he was out living and being a man as a
Repro-
masculine male.
Reproducing.
Uh-huh, reproducing.
Some people
As
shouldn't reproduce.
his male divine right.
To impregnate women.
Yep, and leave them to do it themselves.
Mhm.
Because, well, if you didn't want to have a kid, you shouldn't have gotten pregnant. That's your fault, not his. Fucking Jesus Christ.
Who's responsible for your zest?
My zest.
Not me. So I'm clearly not this zesty. He's way zesty. Zesty Zesterson. So.
It's a great compliment. I do try to have a very showy of both masculine and feminine, so I'm glad that it came out.
Copy.
Mm-hmm.
Copy.
Embrace it all.
I mean, I'm sure James thought he was trying to give you a put down, which didn't work so well.
I wasn't giving a put down.
But, you know, I mean, he could try again, I'm sure. Let's see. How does my James, Heinekens, how does he deal with the judgment of haters on the internet? 1, 2, 3, go. God, you guys are slow.
And this is how I deal with haters on the internet. I don't do anything.
That's BS. Takes responsibility for getting girls pregnant. Jesus, I couldn't
Exactly.
imagine not having my kids around me. Man, his dad is the way it is. Women want a masculine man. You need to teach him. Actually, women don't want masculine men. They want bitch boys. Why do you think I have such a hard time finding a boyfriend when I'm single? Because they're all fucking bitch boys, okay? So don't even talk to me about it. Not to mention,
I think it's hilarious that a man's gonna talk on behalf of all women on what women want. That's just hilarious to me.
right, well, most women today are bad bitches, and they think that men's place is under their thumb, and then they get mad because they can't find a man to protect them because they want a bitch boy, but then they want him to protect them. So therefore, they want this, you know, conundrum that doesn't actually exist. So, you know, that seems to be the biggest problem, to be honest with you. Gonna go do some Uber Eats. Copy that.
That's true. There's a lot of that going around lately. It's getting kind of toxic.
Yeah. Oh, now he says you're a feminist. I'm a bad feminist because I think bitches are fucking lame. Bitches.
Dude, it's the same way, man. Are you
No,
saying that you're
bullshit.
totally fine with a woman speaking on your behalf of all men on what men want, even if she says stuff that you don't want?
No, I definitely
totally
don't.
Fine with that?
I don't want what most bitches want. Most bitches want a man to fucking put him on a pedestal and treat him like a fucking trophy and a prize. And the only thing they have to offer most men is fucking free pussy. So no, I'm a bad feminist because I think bitches need to go out there and make the way for themselves, and they need to be strong and independent, but don't be fucking emasculating men and then being mad because men don't defend you.
Yes.
You're a woman. Your fucking job is to love and care and nurture. Okay? And a man's job is to protect.
If you think the only thing
Fuck.
that a woman can offer is free pussy, and the only thing that a man can offer is a good job and a dick, I think that's the root of the problem for
I
everyone. I'm not
didn't
saying
say
you.
that.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying you as in the whole of the world. You. Like, if that's someone's opinion, is that that's the clear definition of both genders. Like, that's just ridiculous.
Edwin says that he has a feeling that you could make haters really get into their feels.
That's a great.
Yeah. Yep. I think masculinity should be embraced. I think men should be men. You're a man. You got dick and balls. Go fucking hunt and gather something for me. Go be a fucking man. Make a goddamn fucking decision.
How about this?
I will fucking cook. I will clean.
How about a man that can make a decision, can hunt and gather, and can still fuck a man?
We're not talking about that.
No.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about...
What about a woman that can nurture and hunt and gather and doesn't need a man?
Well, I can do all of that too. I don't want to have to all the time. When I'm by myself, I take care of shit that needs to be done. I fucking hunt and gather, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But if there's a man around, goddamn it, do your fucking man job. Jesus Christ. No, I am not going to prop you up and be like, oh, woe is me. Somebody was mean to you today. Oh, you poor thing. Fucking shut up and get over it. Get the fuck over it. Be a fucking man.
Wow. Also the same for you as a woman. Like, you can deal with that same advice. Oh, was someone mean to you? Someone said,
get
you're
over
a
it, bitch. Get over it. I know I am. Thank you very much.
They call
I
you a
appreciate.
cunt.
Yes,
Aw.
I am a cunty McShitterman.
Poor thing.
That's right.
Did women have opinions about you today that you didn't like? Oh, like it's just
Lots
it's
of
the
women
same
have
for
opinions
for
about me
both
that I don't
genders.
like.
Both genders experience the same things.
You're right, they do.
It's
But bitches want to bitch about it, and they want men to fucking make shit better. But god damn it, don't have a fucking voice. Don't be a man and have a voice. Be a bitch boy, but be a man. It's not possible. It's like, whatever.
Mhm.
It's fucking stupid.
I read this fucking article lately about how this couple was going to couples therapy, and she wanted her husband to
So it should be
talk about his emotions more and be more expressive. And something happened, and his dad died, and so he ended up crying in front of her. And she said that she couldn't look at him the same way after that, seeing him so emasculated because he cried.
at his dad's funeral.
that.
And that she left him. And I was like,
Oh, well,
wow.
she's a fucking cunty McShit. That's
a
all
bit
there is to
ridiculous.
Like, I admire people that can actually openly cry. I think it's
I think
very
it's a lot.
vulnerable.
Mhm.
It's viewed as a weakness by a lot of people, but I find it to be. I admire it because I cannot do it.
Yeah, same.
I cannot do it.
I cannot.
So
I cried though in front of my ex.
I was crying in front of Leighton like a fucking baby when grandma.
When grandma was dying.
well, that's because Grandma died.
Well, even when I had to say goodbye to her over the phone.
Oh yeah, that
That
was
was
hard for you
horrible.
boys. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
What's
I
the
mean,
internet's opinions on our discussion?
oh, Lime Jelly's in here being a hater, saying that what did he say? You should eat some more soy if you're crying at your dad's funeral, because apparently you are a bitch.
Well,
But
men don't usually have the greatest relationships with their dads because they can't communicate and express themselves.
this is true. This is true. boys don't have feelings nor emotions. Yeah.
Only rage, vengeance, and horny. That's all that a man can feel. If
I
he feels
miss-
anything else,
I miss those
then
days.
he's feminine.
I miss those days. I do. I really do. Back when men were men.
And the women were women.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
100%.
the dogs were dogs, and the cats were cats. And
Yes, dogs were dogs and cats were cats, and there were no litter boxes in schools.
seasons were seasons.
That's
and,
right, and seasons were seasons.
And days of the week were days of the week, and colors of the rainbow were colors of the rainbow.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Simpler times were also rougher times. Just remember that.
That's a matter of perspective, because back then, no, because there were not as many luxuries and shit like that back then.
Which is why life was harder.
No, it wasn't. You were acclimated to it. You're
No,
just
no. You're thinking too small term.
The simpler the times, the harder they were.
Regardless, if you look back on any of those,
The
in
simpler
comparison
things were.
to now. Yes,
Exactly.
But
we're only living in now.
correct. But if we took away the fucking internet, the youth of today, holy shit, they'd all off themselves. We might be better off, but
And it's not just the youth that uses the internet, right? It's called the World Wide Web for a reason.
I'm aware. But life was fine without the World Wide Web.
And
There was
it's
this
become
thing.
quite
Ooh,
better with it.
somebody
too.
call the ambulance.
Good.
Ooh,
Anyways,
is that lime jelly?
yeah.
Is it for lime jelly?
Yeah, the Wambulance is here for lime jelly. His mangina's bleeding. Anyways, so if we took away the internet, there's this really neat thing.
It's called the radio.
No, called an encyclopedia. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
the internet is, again, used for more than just social media and looking up definitions and facts, right?
And we used to put stamps on things and put them in the mail.
That still happens to this day.
Mhm.
So, I'm just saying. The internet's helped in a lot of ways, don't get me wrong.
When given a free platform,
For humanity to be its worst, we embrace it, and, well, that's the internet. But the internet's great.
The internet's great.
It is.
Right.
It was invented by the military, so you only have our government to blame.
Right.
So, you want to bitch to someone? Go ahead.
I'm not bitching anybody, but fuck, I use the internet. I don't give a shit. I make money on it too. But not on OnlyFans in other ways. But at the same time, you see.
No, I'm pretty bad at seeing, actually.
Still trying to get
I
back at
know,
that skill.
I know.
I was born with the deformity.
A deformity. Copy that. Y'all wonder why I never come home. Just
You're the
saying.
one who taught me that.
Details are important. Specificity is important. So there you go. Now you gotta be specific.
The alphabet people have a talk, episode 33. The alphabet people. They are the alphabet soup group. Those would be your peeps.
Is that what they're called? The alphabet?
Alphabet soup group.
That's what the fuck I call them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What is that? Does that make me a genderist?
No, because it doesn't have anything really to do with gender. I mean, some of them do, but the majority of them aren't dealing with an identity of gender. It's dealing with an attraction to a specific gender. And then there's the ones that have to choose their gender. Well, I don't say have to. No one's forcing them to choose their gender, but the ones that choose their gender.
So here's
So
the
that's
thing.
included in there as well.
Here's the thing. The internet
It's for porn.
for free porn should be.
Yeah, I still don't understand why people pay for porn.
Like OnlyFans. I don't get it.
I don't know, but anyways, the internet is a wonderful, wonderful thing when it is used correctly.
Who wrote the correct guide on using the internet?
And
The
when
internet
I
did not
say
come with a manual.
when I say correctly, I mean to not crazy stalk people. That is an incorrect use of the internet.
If you're giving somebody the ability to have
It is
access
personal
to that,
knowledge.
and if you give the world access to it,
Your name, your date of birth, your address, your phone, that's all fucking public knowledge, and it can be found on any
I
fucking
agree.
background check website. Okay, that is all
Fully.
public knowledge. Your court records, your court cases,
Yes.
all your tickets, all that shit, your bankruptcies,
It's fully accessible.
all of it, public knowledge.
Yes.
Now, when you're using it to stalk somebody, when you're using it to troll and be mean to people because your life is miserable and so you have nothing better to do than to try to make other people miserable, that is an incorrect use of the internet. If you're that miserable, there are other things that you could do to end that misery. We're not going to talk about it, but there are things that you can do.
Like therapy.
Stop making your problems my problems.
Oh, I thought you were just a generous person like that, though. Come on, sharing's caring, they say, right? So, if I make my problems your problems, I care for you.
No. 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 Wrong.
Well, God, you know, these lessons that you've been trying to instill in me in these almost 30 years are getting harder to understand as I get older.
I think somebody just said they would donate if I said the word. And I think they mean,
Oh, the sewer slide?
yeah, the sewer slide.
Ah,
The sewer slide. The sewer slide word. Yeah.
The SH?
Yeah. I just self-harm. I don't know. The world is so fucking goddamn candy ass today. You can't say sewer slide and you can't, you know, he's unalive. Oh, fucking they're dead.
Isn't it
Shit.
amazing the privilege that everyone has now?
What do you mean the privilege that everybody has?
God, everyone can complain about everything so openly and freely and demand things to be changed and everything. You want to do that back in the day? You get killed.
You want to
You
do that
didn't
back
get
in the day? You didn't have anyone to talk to about it.
You didn't get killed.
No, I'm talking back in the day.
I don't even know what era you're talking about. We're not gonna go there.
Anytime before we had our nice, cushy lives that we have now, where I can
Oh,
complain
you
about
meant the
anything.
N-word. I'm not saying the N-word. I'm not of that generation. Although Grandpa did drop the N-word one time. We were at a restaurant. It was right after.
Time.
It was right after. Grandpa was born in 1920.
He was not born in the 1900s, was he?
Yes, he was born in 1928.
Great grandma.
Grandpa.
Oh, just grandpa.
Grandpa
Just
was born in
grandpa.
1928,
Yes.
and I had just done a competition on stage where they spray tan you really dark. And we went to a restaurant, and we're all sitting in this restaurant in North Carolina, in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm very dark, very dark.
Very tan.
I'm like milk chocolate color, dark. And we're sitting there and we're talking, and Grandpa straight dropped the N-word. He straight asked me if I was gonna look like a tomorrow. And we all about fell off our damn bar stools. So, you know, every time I had Grandpa on a live, I was always worried that he was gonna, when he would talk about when he was in the Korean War, I was worried that he was going to drop the derogatory term for them because that's what they called them back in the day. I was worried that he was going to just drop some sort of derogatory, racial derogatory term from his day and age, which was normal. And that I was going to get in a whole lot of social media trouble.
But see,
Thankfully, he
people
never
have
did.
the privilege now to be upset about that, to get you in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
The privilege people have now.
This is true. This is true.
We all live these very high, stuck-up lives compared to everyone else before us.
Yeah.
And then we complain that things aren't as good as they used to be.
I want to identify as a hot summer day, and nobody has the right to call me anything but a season. That's so stupid. You're a boy. You're a girl. You have boy parts, you have girl parts. That's all there is to it. And when your boy parts become girl parts, then you're a girl, because now you have girl parts. That's my theory.
Identify however you want to. You have a name for a reason, so you can be called by it. It's
Yeah.
Your identity is your choice, but I have.
Something I have to call you, so what's your name? I don't care about the rest.
Yeah,
What is it
but-
gonna do for me? How is it?
Not gonna help me.
Oh, well, your friends who are they or them or whatever the fuck they call themselves, do they have names?
Yeah.
And what is their name? Summer?
No.
Pink?
No.
Yoda? Who the fuck?
Jared.
So if I'm talking to Jared,
Hmm.
and I'm talking to you about Jared,
Mhm.
I can't say Jared said he. I have to say Jared said they. That's fucking stupid.
Hey, you know, actually, according to Shakespearean English, that's proper English.
Go read me an excerpt from Shakespeare and then tell me in modern day English what the fuck he said.
I had to for school. That's part of the indoctrination you put me through.
I did not make you graduate.
You and-
That was your choice.
You made me graduate. The amount of conversations I heard from you about having to graduate and how important it is to graduate and you need to graduate. Do you want to be a fucking bum with your GED and not go anywhere in life?
I mean, I have my GED, but you know, I've gone places, so.
That's what you told me when I was working for my education, okay?
Well, thank God you're never having kids, because you'll never have to have that conversation.
I get so
I'm so
frustrated with
blessed.
my kids. I swear to God, I
I'm
would.
so blessed.
I don't know how people. How do you, as a parent,
How do you have your child do something that hits you right in the brain to the point where you just want to lash out and strangle them and then sit there and have a conversation with them instead? Like, how do you control yourself that much? Like, Cregan, I swear to God, I want to just beat him some days with how dumb he is or the shit he said. Like, what he said to you the other day, last week that you were here.
What's up, Phil?
Oh my God! Who do you think you are?
This comes from the kid who did all of those things to me.
Mhm.
Now says to me,
How did you deal with it? How did you do it? I know that you did it. I know that I did the things. I don't know how you dealt with the things.
I stabbed you with a fork.
Yeah.
That's how I did it. Just saying.
Right. Well, there we go. Parenting is best done when you just wing it.
Parenting is best done with a strong fist.
Right.
Look at you, you turned out fine.
What about all the other fucked up kids in the world that grew up with the same treatment?
Well, that's because
What, they didn't beat them the right way?
Yes.
They
There's a
didn't
proper-
follow the manual. If you went at a 45-degree angle, it would have been better. But you went at a 37-degree angle and you fucked them up.
Phone books. That's how you do it. Phone
I
books.
never got hit with a phone book.
Well,
Don't
they-
even.
They don't leave marks.
I got hit with wooden spoons and belts and hands. Don't even phone book me.
Look at you, you turned out fine.
Oh, yeah, fine.
You are fine.
Uh-huh.
You're a productive part of society. You have a good job. You
And
go to
that's
work
what
every day.
classified as fine.
You're not a serial killer or an axe murderer.
That you know of.
You have a good job. You have a stable place to live.
Stable?
Yeah.
You're gonna call Corey stable? You're gonna call this place with the horrible problems we've had here stable?
Well, I
With
mean,
the non-rental license company stable?
Well, I mean, the roof leaks when you take showers, but I mean, you
And
know,
the basement
whatever.
floods when it rains, and none of the doors latch properly.
Sure they do.
The screen doors? No, they don't lock
Oh,
and
so who
latch.
cares about the screen door? How many
The
people
fence
have
is
screen
broken
doors?
in the back.
How many people have screen doors that latch properly in their house?
Or lock.
Okay, well, we're not talking about the cast iron ones that lock like in
Hey,
Arizona.
ours lock. I don't know what you're talking about, cast iron.
Mm-hmm. Do you hear this? Do you hear this?
There was no AC.
That got fixed.
The hot water heater wasn't even on.
That got fixed too.
Yeah, but you're gonna say it's stable.
It is stable.
Oh, now it's stable? Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
we have windows, we have doors, we have locks, we have a roof.
We have a lock, actually. Oh,
Just
what?
because the ceiling leaks when your Uncle Corey showers doesn't mean that we don't have
And the
a
basement
solid
floods
roof over
when
our
it
head.
rains. And we don't have a solid roof, otherwise it wouldn't be leaking.
No, it doesn't leak when it rains. The roof doesn't leak when it rains.
The roof leaks. See that over there? That's called the roof. It's
That's
above
from the
us.
shower.
It's the roof.
That's from the shower. That's the ceiling, not the roof.
Alright, well fine.
The roof.
Suppose it's stable. Actually, I don't know how stable it is. We haven't been hit with a tornado or an earthquake, so I don't know how stable that is.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's stable enough then. I'll give that to you.
Mhm.
You got one out of all the others you named off.
He has a good job. He has a stable home.
I
He's not a serial killer or an axe murderer.
Oh, okay. Good job.
He's
I
not
think-
an internet troll. He's not, out fucking breaking the law and
Because I have a
robbing people
a
and,
good job and a stable place to live, I made it out fine. I suppose that is just the bare definition of fine, isn't it? Yeah.
fucked up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
I'm not exceeding at life.
I
I get a passing grade at life.
You gotta see. You gotta see. You're a C amongst a group of C's. Just so you know.
I suppose that's all you can ask for as a parent, right? It's just to be passing at life.
Well, it's better than taking a dirt nap, yo.
Why?
Well, I mean, if you want to go take a dirt nap, go right ahead. I mean, there's plenty of implements around the house. I'm sure you could make that happen.
I'm sure dirt naps are probably good for you. You know, there's a lot of good bacteria in dirt.
Right. It's like the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out.
Mhm.
The worms play pinochle on your snout.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you aerodynamic.
Right.
And then if it works long enough, you could become easy portable size.
This child watches way too many archaeology-based type documentaries, if you can't tell.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna say that is better than me taking a dirt nap, but if I took a dirt nap, you wouldn't have had to deal with all the things that I put you through and all the stresses of being a parent. I'm just saying.
But I wouldn't be who I am today had I not gone through all of that.
You don't know if you would have been better off without me or not.
Can't go back, you can't change it.
Exactly.
So, with that being said,
since we're enjoying the thought theory of it, that you kind of have to go with it and not just end it by saying it's not real and you can't do that.
No, but I know that had I not gone through the things that I went through with you, I wouldn't be this version of myself today.
So
I would be a different version of myself. Do I know if I would like that version? I don't know. I like the version I am today, so why would I want to change anything from the
thus
past?
far, the best decision you ever made was having unprotected sex in 1995. Because I
It
made
would
you who
actually
you are
be
today.
in 1994.
In 9 months, that's
December of 1994.
exactly. September is oh no, December. Was it December or was it
It
January?
was December.
Suppose I don't know.
I
mean, I was there, but I don't know.
You were there. You were there in a much smaller form, without thought process or a beating heart. Yes.
Yeah, it was me. I was there in spirit. I'm the one that won.
Mhm,
Don't you remember?
Mhm.
Stupendous. Few days afterwards is when I won.
Yes, fighting against all the other
Mm-hmm.
inadequate swimmers.
Hey.
You were the best.
I'm the best of what he could have offered.
Well, you are the first edition,
Yep.
and I think you probably are the best edition of all of the editions, all 7 of them that he has produced. Ay. I don't know what Fast One and Lime Jelly are talking about, but
I think just going off.
yeah. See, Thomas says you're doing just fine.
Just
Fine. Exactly.
He's at work too much all the time now. Fine. They're like, oh, you're just fine. I'm like, yeah, I'm fucked up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
Yeah, people are
And they're
like,
like, yeah, I'm fine too.
people ask me all the time, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing all right. Because if you say I'm doing fine,
You have
people are
to-
like, oh, what's wrong?
Mm.
Because people associate I'm fine with there's something wrong.
Mhm. I'm doing well. Is the proper
Don't
way.
worry, things will work out, he said. Fast One, I've seen you in here. I said hi to you when you first came in.
Things will work
You
out.
were busy
Things will
chit-chatting
work
with
out.
somebody else. So, yeah, there's that. Thought theory. Ooh,
Thought theory.
Unicorn Untamed thought theory.
Or just call it thought theory.
We're not calling it
It
thought
doesn't have to have your
Thought theory
name
with
in
the
it.
unicorn.
You're so egocentric sometimes.
I know I'm egocentric. I can't help it, man. I'm so vain, I think the song is about me.
See, that's the problem that I have. Is that
You
I
didn't get
basically-
that joke!
No, but is that, the problem that I have too is that it's like I have like this god complex, but at the same time, I think I'm the worst person in the world. So,
Explain, define,
Mhm.
elaborate.
I am the
Expand.
best. I'm great. I'm fabulous. Okay,
Fantabulous.
there is no better me than me.
Of course.
Of course, right? I am the best me.
Yep.
I am me. I'm great.
Mhm.
I'm amazing.
Uh-huh.
Wonderful. But at the same time, I'm a garbage human being.
Why are you a garbage human being?
What am I doing that's so great?
Well, then why are you so great?
Because I said I'm great. And my opinion is the only one that matters.
It's an absolute oxymoron.
Exactly! You see what I live with!
You don't make any sense.
No. If everything made sense, that would make it boring. And, well, boring's like death to me. Can't be bored.
Okay.
ADHD doesn't like boredom. It doesn't do boredom. There's no boredom allowed. If there's no stimulation, there's nothing.
Well, I mean, if you're living life with no form of stimulation, then you're stagnant. And if you're stagnant,
You're dead.
pretty much.
Exactly. So, the more that things don't make sense, the better it is.
Well, that's like our whole debate between struggle and non-struggle. Like, everybody struggles. Struggle is just
Everyone
a matter
has
of
their own
perception.
struggles, yes.
Exactly. Struggle is a matter of perception. You know, if you were born into a high
Can you
income
imagine how
household.
boring that would be though if you had no struggles? What are you gonna do in life?
You know what your struggle's gonna be? My DoorDash was 2 minutes late.
How sad.
Mm.
That's not even like worth getting an elevated heart rate for.
Well,
There's so much better things to do.
somebody wants to know what we're talking about. Basically, thought theory. Thought theory. That's what it is. Can I pass you the pillow so you can full send it at him? That's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah. Now you guys understand why I don't come home very
Oh,
often.
please, she makes it sound like it's my fault. The entire family's full of sarcastic assholes, and she fits in just fine. Okay, don't let her fool you. She comes back with it just as much.
No, they're all
Woe
very
is
mean
me.
to
My
me.
family's so hard on me.
They
I don't wanna
are.
come visit because you give me attitude. And no one welcomes me at the door or open arms like I'm the queen that I should be because I'm the trucking unicorn, damn it. I want everyone to know. Fucking Christ.
Welcome to my household. I don't, do we even, I was going to say, do we even have a bathtub in this house? We
Yes. By the way, I just thought about this, but I think it's hilarious that they think that I'm feminine just because I'm eccentric.
do. Well, you know, you don't have bulging muscles and, you know, you're not wearing a wife beater and covered in tattoos.
I
so.
was contemplating wearing a tank top, actually.
Uh-huh.
See?
Uh-huh. What?
Who?
You're slamming the button. Please pass the pillow. Ah. There you go.
Oh, gods. Are you going to do that? Are you going to do, like, your podcast on Twitch so that people can donate to hit me in the face with a pillow?
I can make money doing that?
You could. I don't know how well Twitch is going to agree with you, like, doing abuse on stream.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Is it one of those types of sites?
I don't know, but why did you turn very Midwestern? I don't think so, just because like they allow like the hot tub pool parties on there. Girls dressed up in skimpy bikinis and sit in the inflatable hot tubs you can buy off of Amazon in their bedrooms and just chat. And they make lots of money off of it because people like to see girls in bikinis and wet.
Gross.
Hey, a hustle's a hustle, man. I ain't gonna knock them for doing it. If they can make money off it because people are dumb enough to give them money for it,
That is my son.
on them.
That is my oldest son.
Yeah, right. Oh, are new people in the chat? Hello, I was hired like 5 years ago to play.
You
this
are
part.
not a paid actor!
Yes, I am.
Oh my god!
I have been paid to act. I am a paid actor. You
Yes,
gave me this role
He is my child.
all but 28 years ago.
Did you have to think about how old you are?
Yeah, I kind of forget sometimes actually. After I passed like 26, I was like, okay, how old am I now?
This is my son. He is
Time's
my
a
oldest.
concept.
He is 28. He is my child.
See? I'm glad that you told me I was 28 today, because last night I was actually thinking about my age, and I thought I was 29, but the math wasn't working out, and then I just fell asleep. Because I hate math. You see? Time's a concept. See, this is why you started reading The Secret, is because I was going to come move in with you, and you're like, I gotta learn to be grounded in some way.
No, he is not my husband.
No, gross.
Jonathan.
You're old enough to be my
Thank you.
mother.
I am old enough to be your mom, because I am!
Yes, that's what the character background says.
When am I going to kick him out? Well, considering that
I
his
paid
name is
for
on the
this.
lease, my name is on the lease, and my brother's name is on the lease, all three of us live together. So he does not live with me.
You live with me.
I do
and
not
I
live
live
with
with you.
We are roommates.
Yep. My roommate.
Is my son special needs? Yes, he is very much.
I guess, yeah. I mean, not like I was diagnosed as special needs or went to special needs classes, but yeah.
I have some special needs.
I'm 45. I'm 45 and he is 28.
I need to be watered 3 times a day and then told that I'm gonna grow beautiful. Otherwise, I just wilt away.
It's my special need.
Oh, I need to go hibernate in my room.
See, this is what
You
you
want to
miss
be
out on.
watered 3 times a day?
I said spritz.
Spritz. Go get me the bottle. I will spritz you. Oh, it's right here.
That's the anti-weed smell.
Oh, god damn it.
That's up on top of the fridge where you can't reach.
I know, because I'm short. Welcome to my house.
And she leaves all this behind for like almost the whole year. And it builds up.
It's really her own fault because it builds up and it just all gets released in like the week that she's here. And then she hates it.
Yeah. And when I am here, the more I'm here, the worse it is. Don't let him fucking...
Please. Like you would know. You're hardly here for more than 3 days at a time. This is the longest you've been here. This year.
It's been almost a week,
Mm-hmm.
right? I got here
I
what?
don't know. Like
No, I
said,
got here
time to
Wednesday. What day
Didn't
is
you get here
today?
Tuesday?
No, I
You
came
got
by
here
Tuesday. I
but
came
you
by-
didn't come in here till Wednesday.
Yeah, I came by Tuesday, but I didn't start staying here till Wednesday.
What's up, Bubba?
And what day is today? Saturday? Why does it feel like it's been so much longer?
Oh, please. You've been in your room most of the time like an angsty teenager.
Look, $2.99. Who sent me $2.99? Somebody sent me $2.99. Well, thank you. You haven't been home in 8 years?
That sounds kind of cool. I mean, unless you're still paying on it, in which case, you know, what's the point?
Would I be a hot wife? Fuck no, I have no desire to get married.
No, Mom, that's a sexual term.
What?
That's a sexual term.
Oh, what's a hot wife?
A hot wife is a wife that gets passed around by his husband's friends and he watches because you're a hot wife.
Because he's a cuckold.
Oh.
No, sorry, I need an alpha
There's
dominant
cuckolds
man.
though, and then there's the ones that still participate while passing around their wife that aren't cuckolds.
They're still cuckolds.
No, cuckolds is where you don't participate. Don't argue with me on this. I'm the one that does porn.
Oh god, we're not going there either.
Tell me.
That's like me telling you that your flux capacitor's out on your goddamn truck.
My flux capacitor is out. That must be where the vibration's coming from. I need a new flux capacitor for my Peterbilt. That's why there's a slight vibration.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm glad you understand. Is that why you never go above like 70?
Ha ha ha.
You don't want to time travel accidentally?
No, Alright, I should just text my boss and be like, I need a new flux capacitor.
Remember when the AC went out in Arizona and we needed a new fucking capacitor for the AC?
Yes! Yes, I remember that. Yeah, no, I'm not a hot wife. No. No, not at all. No such luck. For anybody who thinks that they're gonna, you know.
I'm gonna wife her up.
Negative.
I'm gonna be the perfect husband and then trick her into being the hot wife. You know, it's funny. I used to think that was only
One way. I thought that shit only happened like for men, like men were into that, but it turns out that there's a lot of women that are into it happening to them instead. Or like women that like to be cucks and have hot husbands too.
What?
Yeah.
prevalent in both sides.
Wow. Oh,
I know, right?
interesting. I didn't know that. Then again, I don't put too much effort into, you know, engaging in other people's sexual lives.
I think people need to be more open with sex in general. I think that
We're very prudish.
compared to the rest of the world, actually.
When it comes
America?
to discussing sex or even just people
Being naked or nude. Yes, America.
and just being fine with talking about sex in general. Good lord.
Mm-hmm.
Women talk about their sex lives with each other. Guys talk about their sex lives. I mean, granted, they're not truthful when they talk about their sex lives,
Of
but
course not.
they talk about them.
Which I don't understand. God, it's just the weird bragging thing. Do women do that? Do y'all brag to each other about your sex lives like men do?
About his pants monster? Mm-hmm.
You guys like do that? You like compare them to like whip out your guys' phones. You're like, look, see, his is bigger than yours.
No. No. Not so much.
So men share their girlfriend's nudes with the rest of the guys, and girls don't share.
Men
his
share
nudes
their
with
girlfriend's
the rest of the
nudes
girls.
when they don't fully respect their girlfriend.
Oh, I'm aware. I'm not saying it's great. I'm just saying it's what happens. But again, so women don't do that with the dick pics that they get or anything like that.
No.
I mean,
I'm not trying to, I mean, I share dick pics of random dicks that come in on my phone because, well, if you're going to be stupid enough to send it, then, I mean, obviously you want people to see it.
I mean, it is a private message, though. It's called a private message.
It is
for
called a
reason.
private message, but, you know, I'm just saying. Just saying.
Unsolicited nudity is never enjoyable.
No, unsolicited nudity is definitely not. Mm-mm. Gross. And, oh. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm.
We're just gonna leave that there. Just like that. So, anyways, I gotta get off here. It's been 117 minutes.
Oh, are you tired of me giving you shit on the internet?
I am.
She's running away,
I am.
guys. She's a
Get
coward.
away!
Coward.
Anyways, I will update once we have the podcast up and going. And once Shopify gets their poop in a group and my merch store is live, I will also let you know. Everybody have a wonderful day. Thanks for hanging out. Welcome to the chaos that is my life. And me and my son's thought theory. Have a great day. Where's the end button? There it is.